Are you ready to make the best vegan pumpkin cake? That's what we're making today. So you're in the right place, and I'm so excited to share this recipe with you. This cake is so soft and tender and has the perfect, simple vegan cream cheese frosting. I think you're going to love it. I feel like it just brings all the fall vibes together all in the same place and delivers a dish that's so easy to make. I mean, I'm telling you, we don't even need a mixer to make either the cake or the frosting. That's just how simple this recipe is. So I think you're going to love it. I certainly love it. And I'm telling you, our kitchen smells amazing. So I cannot wait to share this recipe with you today. So let's get started. Let's start by the dry ingredients. I have here 3 cups of all-purpose flour. You can obviously switch this out for whole wheat pastry flour or whole wheat flour or even gluten-free flour. And then to that, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. What I have here is 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then comes the spices. I have 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. Okay, we're gonna give this a stir.
Susie says hi.
Susie says hi from Arizona. Hi, Susie, and hi, Diane. We've got 2 people from Arizona. What's going on here? That's lovely. I like it. I cannot believe I made the live show. Yes, Susie, I'm so glad you made the live show too. That's awesome. We're here together, baking in the kitchen. Okay, this is the dry ingredients. Let's set that aside and let's move on to the wet ingredients. And what I have here is 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. I have, this is a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. I have 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. 3/4 cup of water. And a 15-ounce can of pumpkin. Let's get all that out of there. Okay, now we're going to stir that all together. Look at this, no mixer. I promised you no mixer, and I am delivering. Okay, here we go. This is going to go. Now what we're going to do is pour the wet mixture in with the dry. There we go. This makes a nice, what I'd say is, I would describe it as a firm batter. At first, when you're stirring it, you might be thinking, oh, this is going to be too firm, but you just keep going and it's going to be just fine. See how that's starting to come together? And I know we're always very concerned not to overmix the flour, but we do want to make sure we don't have too many large lumps of flour. So I like to go give it a couple of really good stirs. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Now I have a baking dish that I have sprayed with vegetable cooking spray. You can also do this in round cake pans, like 9-inch or 8-inch round cake pans work as well, and make it a layered cake. But I really like working with, you know, your typical 9x12 cake mix or cake, you know, cake pans. 9x13. Did I say 9x12? What is that? Some kind of like woodworking thing? Is there like a 2x4 that's 9x12? No. Where did I get that? I have no idea. Okay, 9 by 13 baking dish. And I just give it a nice quick spray with vegetable cooking spray. I happen to love this pan because it comes with a lid. So it makes it super easy to transport it or, this is not a plug for this pan. I'm not an affiliate. I just telling you that if you're wondering why I'm using this pan, that's why. I have some really beautiful pans. And sometimes I like to use those when people are coming over and I just want to have the presentation be very beautiful. But just for my everyday cooking, I prefer this. It's a nice thick batter. And I like to get as much of it as I can. So that's why I'm always cooking with a spatula. That's pretty good.
No, get it all.
Sean says, no, get it all.
You get some over the side too.
And I'm sure Diane's laughing at that. Oh, yeah, I missed some on the side. Okay. Sean's the dough police. He doesn't want, he's like, leave no fleck of cake behind. He wants to eat it all. There we go. How's that? Is that good, honey? Good enough. Okay, good. Sometimes it does require 2 spatulas. It's just all there is to it. So, and I do like to spread it out fairly evenly in the pan. I have my oven preheated to 350, and we're going to bake this cake. When I'm using this size of a pan, I am baking it for 35. I'm going to set the timer for 35 minutes, and then it probably might even bake for another 5, so 35 to 40 minutes. And when I use the 2 smaller pans, then I bake it usually around 30 minutes, and then if I need to, I might bake it a little bit longer, but usually 30 minutes is pretty good for a smaller pan. See how easy that cake is? Isn't that amazing? And what I'm really excited to share with you is the frosting, because you can use a traditional buttercream using vegan butter and adding, I never add a full container of vegan cream cheese because I find it to be a little too runny. I like to add maybe a couple of tablespoons of vegan cream cheese to my typical vegan buttercream. However, that's a lot of steps. You got to get the mixer out. It's super, it's also very sweet and there's all these other ingredients. And so what I decided, I just kind of came up with this idea, like, what if I just took vegan cream cheese and added some maple syrup, and voila, that has worked out so well. So here's what I have is 3 tablespoons of vegan cream cheese, and I've let it sit out for a while so it's kind of soft. What I'm going to do is measure out a couple of tablespoons of maple syrup. Let's do another one. I feel like this is such a better option, and it's easy. Again, no mixer required. I really call this more of a cream cheese glaze because it's not, probably not technically a frosting, but you could honestly, you could just add a little drizzle of, powdered sugar on top of this cake would be just fine. It would make a nice, simple topping. Or you don't have to do anything, but a little bit of something is nice. I also think I have a recipe for whipped chocolate ganache, and I love that it's super low sugar as well. And so that's another nice option that I like to do. Chocolate and pumpkin, believe it or not, it's actually very delicious. I don't know if you...
Anything is delicious.
I wish you could hear that because Sean just said chocolate with anything is really delicious. Yes, you are right, honey. Okay, look at that. That's a nice little simple glaze. I mean, you could probably, nuke this for a couple of minutes if you don't like those little tiny bits of texture from the cream cheese, but I don't think it's too bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have this is the other half of I made this cake earlier and I just divided it into 2 smaller pans. So this is one of those pans, and I'm just going to drizzle this over so you get the idea of what it looks like. And just spread it. You could probably add a little bit of vanilla if you want to this, but I think it's fine just the way it is. It just adds a little bit of color and You know, you could add more if you like a thicker glaze on top. But what I find is it just adds a little bit of color and a little bit of flavor to the pumpkin cake. And I like that it's just not a lot. It's not fussy. That's the way I would describe it. It's easy. Sometimes we just need things that are less complicated and, you know, easy. That's the way I look at it. So that's it. That's the cake. I think also some little drizzles of cinnamon over the top would look nice. And would taste amazing. So maybe a little bit of cinnamon sugar would be nice over the top. Yes, I highly recommend that. So this cake and a cup of tea, oh man, it would be so good for an afternoon treat. But you know, obviously this is also dressy enough that you could serve this as a Thanksgiving dessert. It's so good so many ways. But I also want to talk with you about a couple of add-ins I think would be really nice. For example, chocolate chips, as long as we're talking about chocolate and making Sean happy with all the chocolate. Add a cup of chocolate chips into the batter before you bake it. I also think, I know this sounds interesting, but like a teaspoon of grated orange zest would be so good in this cake because pumpkin and orange are very nice together. You could add nuts, so like pecans or walnuts chopped up and added to this cake would add nice bits of crunchy sweetness too. I also kind of thought it would be fun to play around with these ingredients. Like I said, you can change out the flours. Another option would be, you know, maybe you wanted to play around with the sugar content. Maybe take it down to 1 1/4 cups, or even just a cup of sugar. I always find the thing about a cake you got to be careful about is that sometimes when you reduce sugar too much, you can kind of change the texture of the cake. So you just have to be aware of that. But I do love playing around with ingredients like that. So I would love to hear from you. Now it's your turn. So tell me, what are your favorite add-ins that you would be adding to this cake? Maybe you have something else in mind that you think goes really well with pumpkin. I would love to hear from you because your ideas are so inspiring. I love that this is a community where we share, you know, you share with me, I share with you, and it's just a lot of fun that way, I think. So leave a comment, let me know what your favorite add-ins would be to this cake. And, you know, are you going to be making it for Thanksgiving? Because I think this would be really high on my list of desserts to have on my beautiful dessert table. I'm one of those people that I like have probably almost more desserts than I have options for dinner. I don't know if that you think that's true, honey. Yeah. Yeah. I like to have a lot of dessert options. It's kind of like the time for desserts to shine. So that's one of this cake is one of those, this pumpkin cake is one of those shining dessert options. So I think it's time for the taste test and I'm so excited to give this a try. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty right there. So good. I love that pumpkin. Oh man, it's good. You know, we put a whole can of pumpkin in this, and it is just got the most intense pumpkin flavor with the cinnamon and the pumpkin pie spice, and the texture is so soft. It's like melt in your mouth, delicious. And I think that glaze is actually perfect. I think I like it better than a buttercream because buttercreams are too sweet. This is perfect. This to me is the perfect cake. And not only because it tastes so good, but also because it's so easy to make. And I'm so glad that you were in the kitchen here with me today and we made this cake together. Wow, that's awesome. So thank you for joining me today. I always love it when you're here with me. And so thank you for joining me. And if you love today's video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more recipes coming your way every week.